Tamar Braxton is so damn messy. And just when I thought that Tamar has grown, evolved, and I know I say this every time we cover a new story when it comes to Tamar Braxton. All right, girl. However, she continuously reminds me that Tamar has not changed. Well, Tamar, in a recent interview with our friends over at We Sound Crazy podcast, talks about Beyonce doing this country album and talks about how she loves the fact that we're seeing all these black artists doing country, but there's certain people that should never do it. We will get into that. She also is talking about being asked to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. All right, before we get into the Michelle and the Tamar Braxton situation, we have to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So you may have seen that Fedra Parks was on the red carpet for an event, and she talked about they already started filming for Married to Medicine, and like a couple of days ago, and the possibility of her making an appearance on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she did not shut the door on it. She almost alluded that maybe you'll see her. Ooh.
You just wrapped your first season on Married to Medicine. What was the takeaway for you from that crew?
What they are really very different from the housewives because they're professional women, but they have really strong relationships and true friendships. So it was a good time, and we actually started taping 2 days ago.
Okay,
yes.
So we're back for more.
We're back for more.
Okay, so that puts rumors to rest that you might snatch your peach back up.
I don't know if that puts all the rumors to rest, because I'm a multifaceted type of girl.
Well, we know the network loves you, so having you on more than one show is probably a good thing. What do you make of Portia's return? People want a frickin' frack reunion.
Oh, I love Portia, and, we've been talking. And, hopefully we can work something out. But, Portia's my girl, so I'm really excited for her.
What do you think of them kind of recentering around the duo that is Portia and Kenya for this next chapter?
Interesting. But we'll see how that works. We'll see. It's interesting.
A lot of people did think that a certain someone announcing her exit from the show would mean you could finally walk back through that door.
I never think anything's based on a certain person. I think the door has always been somewhat open. But I want to do what's best for me and my family. And so, it's got to be the right opportunity, and it's got to be with the right castmates.
Oh, whatever. Okay. But a lot of people have been waiting on some sort of update when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I told you guys, I heard some tea that Eric Fuller is not a part of this new season as the showrunner. He's basically here in New York City helping produce Real Housewives of New York. And all of you said, hooray! I also hear he's not going to be helping with Real Housewives of Potomac either. And what's going on there. I did a video earlier today while I was recapping Love and Marriage DC and Love and Marriage Huntsville stories. We also talked about some of the Real Housewives of Potomac news that's been coming out. So if you missed that, be sure to check out that video. All right. But in a podcast, a live show that she was doing with Carlos King, Tamar talked about her being asked to be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta because, she's in Atlanta, and as you know, they're doing a form of a reboot for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. However, we do know that Portia, Kenya are returning, and now people are speculating that Sheree might be returning as well. So this is what Tamar Braxton said recently when she was a part of this live show that Carlos was doing in Atlanta. And she says that I had a conversation, but the truth is there's just no way I'm going to sit for makeup, get a wig put on, get my makeup beat to argue with a bunch of B words for nothing. I can't do it. Let me tell you something. All money ain't good money. It's just not. And this is what I said. What's for me won't miss me. It's not worth my mental to sit up here and get into an argument with another black beautiful woman about nothing so other people can think this is what we're about. So you will understand why I'm talking about this along with this Michelle story. I want to repeat what she said in this conversation. It's not worth my mental to sit up here and get into an argument with another black beautiful woman about nothing so other people can think this is what we're about. At some point, you have to take responsibility for what you put on the TV screen. At some point, you have to take responsibility for what you put on the TV screen. Okay? So as you know, Tamar has had some back and forth with a bunch of different people on social. The last one that we were doing, it was with her coworker at Dish Nation. All right, I apologize, I can't think of the name at this particular moment, but there was a back and forth. All right, we talked about that. We talked about the Candy beef being reignited between Tamar and Candy. All right. And even then, I was like, okay, I'm hoping that Tamar will do better. We even talked about Tamar's on again, off again, I think it's off again relationship with the Bang Yang Yang man, all right, JR, and what that relationship looked like. And then we also talked about how Tommy, you know, Tommy from the Zeus Network and Love and Hip Hop had to drag her and get her together on social media. Okay. I say all this to say I had hopes that Tamar would grow. And at this point, when you expect someone to do something that they continue to show that they're not going to do, that's the definition of insanity. All right? So maybe I'm insane. Okay? So I saw this interview from our friends over at We Sound Crazy Podcast. Go check out the full episode. Go give them some support. This was their 100th episode, and they had Tamar on there. And they were talking about Beyonce moving into the world of country music with this country album. And she talks about how, you know, this is so great that all these, you know, black country artists are being highlighted. She said that she's even a fan of some of the folks. Take a look at what she said. And when she mentions an unknown artist or artists that shouldn't be doing country music, shouldn't be getting into country music. There are clues in what she says.
So Tamar, Cowboy Carter came out some weeks back, Beyonce's new album. What do you think about her moving the country?
You know, I knew you guys were going to ask me about that.
Did you?
I did. I think that black country is so necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy
I agree.
that people with talent who can actually sing country music that are black people are finally getting the recognition they deserve.
Pause. Again, you have to pay attention to her words, okay? She's already taking jabs. And I know you're probably thinking, you're reading too much into this. Oh, no. Tamar is not slick, y'all. We're not dumb. She's already taking, because at this point, anyone talking about black country music, they have not talked about it in this way since Beyonce. So who has been very open about doing country music? K. Michelle was the first one in recent years in regards to talking about getting into country music as a person that was in R&B but always wanted to do country music. She's been honing this country project for a while. Monica, the singer, recently said that she was getting into country music. I don't think that she's taking shots at Monica because ain't nobody want to take a shot at Gunica. Just saying. Let's continue.
That's what I think.
And she's a Texas girl. She's country.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't know. I just really appreciate Beyonce for opening the door for all the other black artists that has, you know, rode that wave behind the floodgates.
Yeah.
I'm just really appreciative for her.
Agreed.
That's awesome.
These people can really sing. They're so talented.
Yeah.
What's that one black guy who can sing, like he sings so low?
Tony
Evans Jr.
He's on the show.
Yeah.
Man, I really appreciate his artistry, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'd be good. He'd be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I started following him because of that. Just to hear him sing, that thing can sing.
Yeah.
And it's also another black, it's like two black girls I like. One little brown skinned little girl.
That's Tanner, right?
That's her real name, Tanner.
I think so. But we'll keep going.
And then there's another girl who kind of looked like the Beyonce campaign.
I know
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
can't remember her name, but yeah.
She's talented too.
We'll figure it out.
But I appreciate it. I like it. Because it was a couple of people who should not have been singing country black music that was awful. And it was concerning for me.
Care to mention a few?
No, but you know what I mean. I'm not trying to be funny. Yeah. I'm not trying to be funny. It just didn't sound good.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure if you're going to step into a new genre of music and represent us, that you got to represent.
Gotta be right.
Yeah, got to be right.
Again, first of all, we haven't even heard any country music from Monica. So Monica can't even be included in this conversation. We have heard a couple of country songs from K. Michelle. And I know some of you that may not even know about the K. Michelle and Tamar beef and where it started from and that there is a connection. But for someone that's been doing pop culture for a long time, I know the beef. As soon as I heard it, I said, this was unnecessary and this was corny of Tamar. But that is in line with what Tamar does all the time. First of all, you could sit here and celebrate these artists and that just be the conversation. But she decided, instead of just celebrating these artists, to take a jab at K. Michelle. She didn't say K. Michelle's name because she knew K. Michelle would respond and read her down and get her in her feelings like she's done before. Okay, let me remind you where this beef stems from. This beef stems from years ago, from Love and Hip Hop, when K. Michelle was on Love and Hip Hop. All right? So VH1 reminds us where the beef stemmed from because, again, Love and Hip Hop. So they remind us, he says, Tamar posted a not so cryptic tweet, all right, saying, oh, have fun and let this girl sell her fairy tale. Because this is when K. Michelle was opening up about the abusive relationship that she was in with Memphis, who was married at the time to Toya Johnson at the time of the filming. K. Michelle was already broken up with him. He had honed her career, brought it to Jive Records, and then she said he tried to ruin her career. Many presume Tamar was referring to K. Michelle because this is the thing about Tamar, and this behavior stems for years, and she continues to do it. She will throw her rock and then hide her hand and be like, "That I never said that. I never said that. I didn't say her. Why are people assuming it's her?" So many presume that Tamar was referring to K. Michelle's allegations of physical abuse from her former boyfriend, Memphis, particularly because Tamar is friends with the wife of the accused woman beater. Oh, damn. Subtweets were sent from both directions, and at one point, Tamar sent out a cease and desist, oh, Lord, to K. Michelle after feeling threatened, she said. So they says, that should have been the end of that, but a year later, she sent out another subtweet, meaning Tamar, aimed at K. Michelle over a wig. They say, no, really, she did that, and that's kept this thing, these two going at it. They say Tamar took more shots at K. Michelle on both Power 105's morning show, The Breakfast Club, as well as the Arsenio Hall show. During the latter appearance, when asked about her rival, Tamar told Arsenio, who? Kmart? Where they sell Nikki's clothes at? That's the only K I know. K. Michelle noted that for someone who says they're being bullied, Tamar sure has a knack for the verbal jab. In a more recent interview on the Scorpio show, K. Michelle says that she's done with the beef, but reiterated that she's never started the beef and won't stand for people talking reckless about her. K. Michelle explained, I always win arguments, and just because I win them doesn't mean I start them. And this is another indication because we haven't seen these two talk about each other at all in recent years or days, okay? However, I knew immediately what Tamar was doing in this instance. And for me, it was unprovoked. It was unnecessary. And like I said, it was corny. Just celebrate the win for these up-and-coming artists that are having this moment in country music. But no, you decided to take a jab. And this is why Beyonce is Beyonce, because a lot of people were like, oh, everyone check on K. Michelle. Beyonce's releasing a country album. K. Michelle's like, I've been doing this for a very long time. I am not worried. There's room for all of us. Only for Beyonce, after the release of Cowboy Carter, to send beautiful flowers. I know she sends them to everyone. But still, it was her way of saying, you know, keep going. Thank you for helping break barriers in this industry. Because Beyonce also, part of the reason why she did this country album, of course, this is a part of who she is, was because of what she experienced at the Country Music Awards. So she knew how to be a class act in this moment. What we hope that Tamar could learn would be something like that. Something like that. Because again, this was unnecessary of Tamar. But I knew that this is what it was. And I said, you know what? I'm going to call it out because I have been really trying to say, look, Tamar has grown. Tamar has evolved. Look how she handled the Bang Yang Yang Man situation. Only for us to be back here in the same moment. But as always, you guys have thoughts and opinions, and please feel free to share them. Please feel free to share them. Am I crazy? Probably not. As always, let's share those comments below, but we do not moderate adults, so behave yourselves. Okay. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire.